The day I walked down the aisle, when they opened the door, God told me at the door, don't do it.
Yolanda Adams is a talented gospel singer, but her life has been full of sadness and struggles. What happened to her that caused so much pain? How did her personal challenges affect her career and her happiness? In this video, we will explore the heartbreaking moments of Yolanda Adams' life. What made her story so tragic and difficult to bear? Let's find out together. Yolanda Adams, the eldest of 6 siblings, was born in Houston, Texas. She graduated from Sterling High School in 1979 and then went on to attend Texas Southern University. After finishing school, she worked as a teacher and a part-time model in Houston, but eventually she decided to leave teaching and follow her passion for music, becoming a full-time singer.
I sang all my life, from a little girl till now, and this happened to be what God gave me to share with the world, and I'm so grateful.
Yolanda's music career started when she joined the Southeast Inspirational Choir in Houston. This choir was connected to the Church of God in Christ. She became the lead singer and was noticed by Thomas Whitfield, who worked with Sound of Gospel Records. In 1982, she featured as the lead vocalist on the choir's single, For My Liberty. Later in 1986, she also sang on the Edwin Hawkins Music and Arts Seminar choir album, Give Us Peace, which helped her gain more attention.
Growing up in that choir, it was a great lesson. I learned how to approach the mic. I learned what audiences like and what they dislike.
In 1987, Yolanda released her first solo album, Just As I Am, with Sound of Gospel Records. But her big break came in the 90s when she met producer Ben Tankard. Tankard signed her to his independent label, Tribute Records, and she released an album called Through the Storm. This was a smooth mix of gospel and jazz, which became popular with both gospel and jazz music fans. She also sang on Tankard's album Play Me in Your Key in 1994, which received great reviews. In 1995, Yolanda released another album called Save the World, which included her famous song, The Battle Is the Lord's. A year later, she put out another album, More Than a Melody, which included a hit song called Gotta Have Love. This song gained a lot of attention, and its music video helped her become even more famous. She also released a live performance video called Yolanda Live in Washington that featured songs from her earlier albums.
As time passed, we had an album that hit the Billboard charts really hard, and we were there in the top 10, and we were nominated for a Stellar Award.
Her next album, Songs from the Heart, was released under Verity Records. This album included the song Only Believe, which became popular on contemporary radio. It also featured Still I Rise, a song inspired by Maya Angelou's poem and dedicated to the civil rights leader, Rosa Parks. Sadly, Yolanda road manager Arnold Lindsay tragically lost his life in a rigging accident on February 11th. This heartbreaking event shook the music world, as Arnold had been a crucial part of Yolanda's team for many years. He played a key role in managing the logistics of her concerts and making sure everything went smoothly behind the scenes. Arnold's death was not just a loss for Yolanda, but for everyone who knew him in the music industry. The loss was so significant that Yolanda wrote a song called Fragile Heart in his memory. In this song, she expressed the sadness and heartbreak that came from losing someone she had worked with for so long. Fragile Heart became a way for Yolanda to cope with the pain, and it touched the hearts of many fans who also understood the feeling of losing someone special. Yolanda also went through a difficult and painful experience in her first marriage to Troy Mason. The marriage ended in divorce after she went through a lot of emotional and physical abuse. Yolanda has talked openly about how hard that time was for her, but she also shared how she found the strength to rebuild her life and career. Yolanda once shared her story with a crowd, saying that God helped her through the darkest time of her life. At one point, she felt a lot of shame about what had happened in her marriage. She felt embarrassed about telling people what she had gone through. But then one night, after she had spoken about her experience, she went back to her hotel room. She was crying, feeling ashamed of her past. That's when she said she felt God speak to her heart.
I used to be ashamed of my testimony. God showed me one night when I came into the hotel room after I had testified.
God told her that while he didn't want her to go through the abuse, he allowed it to happen because of her choices. He explained that he had kept her safe through it all, protecting her from harm. God said that because she had gone through that struggle, she was now in a better place to help others. Yolanda realized that even though the abuse was painful, it gave her a stronger voice to reach out and encourage others who were going through similar situations. Yolanda has used her experiences to help others, traveling all around the country to share her story. She encourages anyone who is in an abusive relationship, whether it's physical or emotional, to trust in God and get out of the situation. She wants everyone to know that God doesn't want anyone to live in abuse. She always reminds people that if they listen to God's voice and follow his guidance, they won't have to go through what she did.
If God speaks, listen first. Ask questions later. Because if you listen to the voice of the Lord, you won't have to deal with what I've dealt with.
She also shared a powerful moment when she was about to marry Troy Mason. As she walked down the aisle, she said she felt God tell her, "Don't do it." But she had already made all the plans. The church was ready, the money was spent, and the guests were waiting. Despite feeling that warning from God, she still went ahead with the wedding. After the marriage, she realized that by ignoring God's warning, she had made a choice that led her to pain and suffering.
The day I walked down the aisle, when they opened the door, God told me at the door, "Don't do it."
During the abusive marriage, Yolanda faced many dangerous situations. She was thrown across a room, and at one point, Troy punched her in the face. But Yolanda believes that God was protecting her through it all. She remembers one moment when Troy tried to hit her, but she says God moved his hand and stopped the punch from hitting her face. Another time, when he threw her onto a marble floor, Yolanda wasn't hurt at all. Not a bone was broken, and she believes that was the work of God's angels, keeping her safe even in the most dangerous moments. Yolanda recently spoke about her fashion choices and the backlash she has faced. At 64, she's still inspiring fans. While promoting her new album, Sunny Days, Yolanda shared her thoughts with people. She said some people have criticized her for wearing clothes that fit her body more closely, but Yolanda isn't bothered by the comments.
And so when we start listening to folks who don't understand us, and they try to critique what we...
Growing up, Yolanda was raised in a very open-minded family. Her parents let everyone in the house be themselves. I was raised in a family where we could express ourselves. Everyone had their own style and voice, she said. Because of this, Yolanda didn't feel pressured to fit into any mold, whether it was in her music or her clothes. In gospel music, many female artists are expected to dress modestly, wearing loose and simple outfits. But in the 1990s and early 2000s, fashion trends started to change. Clothes became more fitted, and Yolanda's taste in style changed too. Being a tall, slender woman at 6 feet, she found herself drawn to outfits that suited her body. Yolanda explained that her family never placed strict rules on how she dressed or what she listened to. "We didn't have a list of things we couldn't wear or do in my family," she said. Because of this freedom, she felt comfortable choosing clothes that made her feel good. To those who criticize her, Yolanda has a simple message: cut it out. She believes that what matters most is a person's heart and their relationship with God, not the clothes they wear. Yolanda's confidence shows that staying true to yourself is more important than trying to please others. In 2001, Yolanda Adams released her 7th album called Believe. The music was amazing, and fans loved it. The album even went gold the next year. But something else about Believe got a lot of attention: its cover. On the front, Yolanda wore a stunning electric blue dress made by Gigi Hunter. The dress had a rounded neckline and showed off her tall, beautiful figure. She also paired it with elegant accessories.
I've been in rooms where I had to stand up and say, "You don't know more about this than I do at all. You don't know. I live this. You listen to it."
While many fans loved the album, the cover caused some drama in the church community. Some people thought her dress was too much for a gospel singer. Yolanda was surprised by the reaction. She said, "I didn't know there were rules about what you could or couldn't wear. So when people said, 'I don't know about that dress,' I thought, okay." But over time, people changed their minds. Some even acted like they'd always been her biggest supporters. Yolanda joked, "These same people now say, 'I've been with her since day one.' No, you didn't. Stop it. I remember." Yolanda's beauty and style haven't just caught the attention of critics. Fans call her the Gospel Stallion, a fun nickname comparing her to Megan Thee Stallion, who is also known for her striking looks. Even her fellow gospel singers have defended her. In 2016, Yolanda wore a dress with a low neckline to the Stellar Awards, and some people complained. Erica Campbell from the gospel duo Mary Mary spoke up for her on social media. Erica wrote, "Did the church folks really have a problem with Yolanda's dress? We need to focus on our souls and not worry so much about what someone is wearing." Remember just a few years ago, Yolanda Adams showed kindness and support to Erica Campbell when Campbell was criticized for wearing a tight white dress. Adams knew how to stand strong because she had faced similar moments in her own life. One such moment happened in 2005 at the Celebration of Gospel. Comedian and host Steve Harvey made a bold comment about Yolanda's beauty, saying, "Yolanda's show is sexy." This remark stirred up mixed reactions, especially among the faith-based audience. Steve later shared this story in his 2006 comedy special, "Don't Trip, He Ain't Through With Me Yet."
I had the mic in my hand and all I said was, "Woo! Boy, Yolanda show is sexy."
Some people found Steve's comment inappropriate. Yolanda took it lightly and with a smile. She explained, "I knew Steve was joking. He's like my brother." At first she was surprised, but when she saw people's reactions, she found humor in it. Yolanda recalled some of the comments people made after Steve's remark. She laughed, saying, "Some people were saying, 'Yeah, she show is fine. I wish she was my wife.' And then others were like, 'I don't know about her showing her shoulders in church.'" Addressing the critics, Yolanda gave a witty response. "It's the Shrine Auditorium," she said, laughing. "It's not Third Baptist Church down the road." Her comment showed her confidence and understanding of the difference between formal events and church settings.
See right there, just like some of y'all just did. Ooh! See right there, all I said was Yolanda Adams was sexy. Now I'm a grown man. I ain't on the down low or none of that. I'm a grown man.
Yolanda credits her upbringing for teaching her to focus on kindness and love rather than judgment. "I thank God for the way I was raised," and she said, "I don't put unnecessary rules on others, and I don't let them hold me back either. When I meet people, I see their good spirit, and that's how I choose to live my life." In 2023, fans of the Yolanda Adams Morning Show got surprising and sad news. The show was being canceled. Hosted by Yolanda Adams, a talented gospel singer, the show was loved by many listeners for its positive and uplifting content. So what went wrong? Let's talk about it.
You can get us on the TuneIn app. Just go to TuneIn app. It is free. And you can type in the Yolanda Adams Morning Show and just click it on and you will hear us.
The show first started in 2012 and quickly became a favorite. People loved Yolanda's warm personality and the way she talked about faith, life, and personal growth. The show was more than just music and chat. It felt like a safe and inspiring place for many. It ran for over 10 years, which shows just how special it was. One of the best things about the show was how it made a difference. It didn't just entertain people, it helped communities. Yolanda used her platform to promote good causes, bring attention to important issues, and share inspiring stories. The show also welcomed many famous guests, from musicians and actors to spiritual leaders. Yolanda had a gift for connecting with people, making every conversation meaningful. So, why did it end? Times have changed. With streaming and online platforms growing, fewer people are tuning into traditional radio shows. The Yolanda Adams Morning Show found it hard to keep up, and its audience began to shrink. This drop in listeners was a big reason why the show had to stop.
You guys are perfect at fake news.
Woo.
Folks are when folks challenge you and say, no, that's not what happened, and no, you're wrong.
Right. Yeah.
In 2023, the Yolanda Adams Morning Show came to an end, leaving many fans sad and frustrated. This gospel radio show had been a favorite for years, known for its positive messages, uplifting songs, and Yolanda Adams' warm personality. But why was it canceled? The main reason was a drop in the number of people listening. As more people started using digital platforms like podcasts and streaming apps, traditional radio shows faced tough competition. Even though Yolanda's show had loyal fans and strong ratings, the radio network decided to cancel it due to these changes in the industry. There weren't any big controversies around the cancellation. Yolanda Adams kept a clean and positive image throughout her time as the host. She focused on spreading hope and promoting gospel music, which earned her a lot of respect. Fans hoped she would stay in radio, but Yolanda hasn't made any official announcements about her plans. Some rumors suggested the show might come back on a digital platform, but nothing concrete has been announced. The show's cancellation was a decision made by the radio network's management. Yolanda didn't have much say in it. Despite this, the show had an impressive run, winning awards and being praised for promoting gospel music and giving new artists a chance to shine. Even though the show is gone, Yolanda's impact on gospel music and radio will be remembered for years. For those missing the show, Yolanda Adams is still active. Fans can follow her on social media, visit her website, and see her perform live. While there's no word on a replacement for her show, her contributions to gospel music and radio broadcasting will not be forgotten. After 13 years without a new record and 17 years since her last album with a major label, Yolanda Adams is back with a brand new album called Sunny Days, and she's more excited than ever. This new music is a big deal for the legend. Her fans have been waiting a long time, and Sunny Days doesn't disappoint. The album, which came out on September 13th, has 15 tracks, including 2 remixes of her lead single, Church Doors. Adams, who is now 63, shows once again why she's known as the queen of contemporary gospel music. With her powerful voice, inspiring lyrics, and fresh sound, she proves that she's still at the top of her game. Fans of her earlier music, especially her hit album, Mountain High, Valley Low, will love this new release. Speaking about her past work, Yolanda says that making Mountain High, Valley Low was special because it came from the heart. I love the process of getting those songs out of my head and heart onto a computer and into the ears and hearts of people, she told People magazine. For Yolanda, music is all about connecting with others and making people feel something. Whether it's joy, peace, or even a little dance. Music should always get into the heads, the hearts, and the hands of people. Because there should be some dancing, she said. Her album, Mountain High. Valley Low turned 25 years old recently, and it's still a big part of her legacy. That album made her famous with the hit song, Open My Heart, which reached the charts and became a favorite for many people. Yolanda's music is always heartfelt, and that's why it resonates with so many listeners. Yolanda Adams has had a long and successful career, working with many talented people. Some of her biggest hits, like Open My Heart and Be Blessed, were created with the famous producer duo Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. These producers have worked with huge artists like Janet Jackson, Usher, and Mary J. Blige. When Yolanda was asked to choose producers to work with, she didn't hesitate to pick Jam and Lewis. Back in the day, the chairwoman of Elektra Records, Sylvia Rhone, told Yolanda to pick anyone she wanted to work with, and she chose Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It was totally awesome for me, Yolanda says. Now the rest is history. Their collaboration created some of Yolanda's best-loved songs, and they teamed up again for Sunny Days. Yolanda says that the excitement she had when making Mountain High, Valley Low is the same excitement she feels now, and maybe even more. The journey to completing Sunny Days was not easy. It started back in 2018, but things kept getting in the way. Yolanda had to juggle her busy schedule, which included working with famous music producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and dealing with the effects of the pandemic. She was also busy filming the first 2 seasons of the BET Plus show Kingdom Business. With so many things going on, Yolanda realized she needed to set aside special time just to finish her music. By 2023, it seemed like the project was ready to go. But then, just before finishing, Sylvia Rohn, the CEO of Epic Records, suggested that Yolanda add 2 more songs. At the end of 2023, we had everything ready, Yolanda explains. But then Sylvia said, we need 2 more songs. This led to the addition of the songs Church Doors and Blessings. Church Doors is an upbeat track that talks about overcoming life's challenges. It has a remix version, which is the one used in the official music video. In the video, Yolanda sings and dances with bright, colorful dancers around her, showing off her huge smile and energy. Yolanda's music blends gospel with modern sounds like pop, R&B, and hip-hop. She says this is just a reflection of who she is and how she was raised. There are too many people in the world trying to be like someone else, Yolanda says. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you lose yourself. She grew up in a family where everyone had their own talents and voices, so she never felt the need to copy anyone else. I didn't feel any need to be anybody other than Yolanda, she says. Even though Yolanda has been in the music industry for a long time, she still feels thankful for everything she has. She celebrated her 64th birthday in August 2024 and reflects on how much she has learned over the years. You realize the blessing of getting older and wiser, Yolanda says. There are some people who never made it to this age, so I'm really thankful. She feels blessed to still be living her dreams, doing what she loves, and having a strong support system of family and friends around her.
As time passed, we had an album that hit the Billboard charts really hard, and we were there in the top 10, and we were nominated for a Stellar Award.
She is one of the best-selling gospel artists ever, having sold over 10 million albums worldwide. Along with this, she has received many awards, including 4 Grammy Awards, 4 Dove Awards, and 5 BET Awards. She is also the first gospel artist to win the Grammy Award for Best Gospel Song. People call her the Queen of Contemporary Gospel Music and the First Lady of Modern Gospel. In 2016, she received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Barack Obama for her volunteer work. A year later, she was inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. She also made history in 2018 as the first gospel artist nominated for a Tony Award for her work on the musical SpongeBob SquarePants. In 2019, she was honored with a Lady of Soul Award at the Soul Train Music Awards. She performed America the Beautiful at the opening of Super Bowl 54, which earned her critical praise. Billboard listed her among the top gospel artists of the 2010s. She has had 5 #1 albums on Billboard's top gospel album chart. In 2022, she was inducted into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame. Her impact on gospel music is undeniable, and she continues to inspire with her powerful voice and positive message.